now the point in the ceremony when we award our honorary degree recipient. I'd like to invite, Jarrett's already here, I was going to invite Jarrett up, and Dr. Patty Lynott will hit our honorary degree recipient during my conferral. Today, we confer an honorary degree on Jarrett Krosoczka, an award-winning author and illustrator. Jarrett writes books with humor and heart, qualities that have made his titles perennial favorites on the bookshelves of homes, libraries, and bookstores across the country. He was first published at the age of 23 and now has dozens of published books to his credit. His titles include several picture books, his wildly popular Lunch Lady graphic novels, and the Platypus Police Squad. Most recently, Jarrett shared his own story of growing up amongst family addiction in the young adult graphic memoir, Hey Kiddo, which won a National Book Award, was a National Book Award finalist in 2018. He is a two-time winner of the Children's Choice Book Awards and has been a finalist for the prestigious Will Eisner Comic Industry Award. Realizing that his books can inspire young readers beyond the page, he founded School Lunch Hero Day, a national campaign that celebrates school lunch staff, and Platypus Police Reading Squad, a program in which police officers read aloud to children in schools and libraries. A consummate advocate for arts education, Jarrett also established the Joseph and Shirley Krosoczka Memorial Youth Scholarships, which fund art classes for underprivileged children in his hometown of Worcester, Massachusetts. Jarrett Krosoczka, it is my honor and great pleasure to award you with the degree of Doctorate of Arts.
Thank you so much for this incredible honor for both the degree and to be here addressing you in this moment. My grandfather, he grew up in the 1930s during the Great Depression. I grew up in the 1980s during the Age of Excess. Thankfully for me, though, my grandfather raised me. He raised me instilling all of the values that he had gained while coming of age with nothing. On many occasions during my youth, I couldn't help but feel othered. You know, I figured I was the only person being raised by grandparents. I was the only person who didn't have their mother and father at home. And you know, my mom was addicted to drugs and she was in jail, and my father was absent. He took off before I was born. So I knew my family didn't look like my peers, and it certainly didn't look like anything I'd seen on television. But what a gift that was. All a kid truly needs is to be loved unconditionally, and how lucky I was to have that. My grandfather would often say to me, "When I'm gone, I hope that you remember the value of hard work that I taught you." Of course, then, as a kid, I would mostly just roll my eyes. But now, as a parent myself, I get it. As a parent, you want nothing more than for your kids to grow up to be independent and stable, and of course, happy. When I graduated from college, I moved to Boston, and I was trying to get my children's books published. And at least once a week, on a phone call, my grandfather would ask, "Do you have a job yet?" To which I would reply, "Yes, I write and illustrate children's books." And then there'd be a pause, and my grandfather would coyly ask, "Well, who pays you for that?" And I would respond that nobody yet, but I was working on it. And also now in retrospect, I realized there was so much love in that. Because he never asked me if I had a real job. He wasn't belittling what I was trying to achieve, but he wanted to make sure that I was compensated for what I had hoped to accomplish. And yes, it did take a lot of work. I submitted my work and my illustrations, my stories to publishers for 2 years with no interest from any of them. I have a folder filled with rejection letters from some of the finest publishers in America. But because I was constantly working on craft, drafting new stories, because I was relentlessly submitting my work to publishers, my first children's book was published in June of 2001. And at my very first book signing at Tatnick Booksellers in Worcester, Massachusetts, my grandparents held court in the center of the audience, and they were beaming. I now have 40 books published, and much of that can be credited Thank you to all of that work that my grandparents put into me. And of course, all of the teachers I had along the way. But more important than any professional success that I have met with, I have found love, and I'm the father of 3 children. And I've been able to break the cycle of trauma and addiction that surrounded my youth. And thank you. And our house is as chaotic as anyone's. My children are 10, 7, and 2. And it's a love-filled house that can be attributed to another important lesson that was instilled to me: family first and always. And now I truly know what my grandfather was getting at. It was never what my grandfather expected of me. It's what he had hoped for me. And in this audience right now, there are several nervous caretakers who helped get their graduates to this point. And as much as I know you'll want to hound them in the months and the years ahead, they'll still need your love and support. And for the graduates, please remember that when your elders are nagging you about what your next step will be, what your next job will be, what your next move will be, it isn't what they expect of you, but it's what they hope for you. And I hope the very best for you as you all leave this phase of your life behind you and are propelled into the world, and you begin to write your own stories. And stories are truly all we leave behind. Our actions and our love will live in the hearts of our loved ones and exist in the stories that are told for generations to come. So work hard as you craft your own story, but always remember to love as hard as you work. Congratulations, class of 2019. Thank you.